Hi guys, this is Alex from MuseThemes.com, and today we're going to be looking at a new widget, which is the custom scrollbar widget. So what this widget enables us to do is create scrolling content areas within Muse. So for example, if we scroll down here on our demo page, and if we scroll over this section here, we see a scrollbar appears, where we can click to scroll and view more content within this box. We can also see another example down here, which uses images. So as we scroll through, we can see more images on the canvas. So let's jump into Muse and see how this is done. Okay, so I'm going to grab a text tool and I'm going to place a text box on screen. And I'm just going to head into my browser and get some default text, just so we can quickly copy this in. I'm going to paste it like so. And then I'm also going to paste an image into this text box, just to show off that we can put multiple items in this to scroll. So I'm going to cut this and paste it into the text box below. Okay, so let's grab our widget onto the canvas. And we're going to go into the options panel. And we can see in the first part of this panel here, it's going to ask us for a container graphic style. And what this means is that we're going to have to assign a graphic style to our content here. So if we select our text frame here and head over to our graphic styles, then we're going to create a new graphic style. And I'm just going to call this scroll. So let's head back into our options panel, and I'm going to change this from scroll 1 to scroll. So the content height is the height at which we want it to cut off the text or images or whatever you're displaying. So for example, we could set this to 250 and it would display 250 pixels, and then it would cut it off and make us scroll. The scroll bar setup down below just documents the actual aesthetic look of the widget. So for example, we can set the scroll bar background color to white so that it blends in with our background, and we could set our actual scroll bar to something like orange. And we can also set the opacity and the width. We can also set the scroll bar position. So this dictates whether we want our scroll bar to appear on the left or the right. And we can also say whether we want this to be a square scroll bar or a rounded. So I'm going to change it to rounded for this example. So let's view this in our browser and make sure that it's been hooked up to the widget correctly. Okay, so as we can see, the widget has been applied to this text area, and as we scroll, we can see more of the content. However, it is being cut off at that 250 pixels. Okay, so I'm going to head back into the browser and show off how you can do the imagery that we saw before. So I'm just going to move this over to the side here, and I'm going to delete this graphic style. So I'm going to grab a state button from our widgets library, and I'm going to delete all of the content and all of the styling from this widget. Now the way that we're actually going to do this is we're actually going to rotate it through 90 degrees, like so. So that we've got the height going out widthways across the canvas, and this allows us to have the scroll bar along the bottom of the widget. So it doesn't matter if this is going off your canvas, like so. So I'm going to apply a stroke to this as well, with some rounded corners. We'll apply a stroke of 2 to that, and I'm just going to use the rectangle tool, and I'm going to create some rectangles in which I'm going to place some images in. So for example, I have a few thumbnails here, which I can add to the image, and I'm just going to add around 2 or 3. So we fill these in, like so. We'll just add 2 more here, and then we'll hook it up to our widget. Okay, 1 more. And we'll set that as the background. Okay. So then, now it's time to hook our state button up to the widget. So we're going to do the same thing as we did before. I'm going to select this. We're going to go into the graphic styles panel, and we're going to create a new graphic style. And I'm going to call this scroll, like so. Okay, so again, back into our options panel. Now we've already got this down as scroll from the last demo that I showed. So I'm going to leave that as it is. And I'm going to change the content height to around 800 pixels. Otherwise it will be too small and you won't see many images. I'm going to leave this as it was before. However, I'm going to change this from right to left so that it appears on the bottom. Okay, so now let's preview this in our browser and check that the settings have been applied. Okay, so now you can see we've got our state button with our images in, and as we scroll, more of these images scroll along. So that's pretty much it for this widget. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy using this widget. As always, if you have any questions or queries, don't hesitate to drop us a note. Until next time, goodbye.